Hey there YouTube, That's here. I'm going to be bringing you guys a video of me playing a singles game in the new OU suspect test for the potential banning of Greninja. Now for those of you who don't know, Smogon is potentially going to try and ban Greninja. I really don't think it's going to be banned, so what I'm going to be doing is laddering until I have enough of a ranking to be able to vote on this, because I think Greninja is a really cool Pokemon. I don't actually use it, but it's something that I don't feel should be banned into Ubers, and I feel really strongly about that, so that's why I'm going to be laddering a lot. So the next few battles you guys are probably going to be seeing are going to be a bunch of singles games, because also there's a few singles tournaments that I have coming up within this month that I need to practice for, so I figured this is a great opportunity. You'd see my team on the left-hand side. You've seen this team a bunch of times before. Mega Latios, Keldeo, Celebi, Talonflame, Suicune, and Thundurus. Versus off against Roxanne here, who's going to be using Mega Pinsir, Skarmory, Mamoswine, Rotom Wash, who's like a huge threat, and as you can see in this game, it's going to be all about how I can eventually wear down that Rotom Wash before I can win. We're going to see a Gothitelle and a Thundurus. Now, it's kind of funny, if you switch out that Skarmory for like any other Pokemon, this would be a pretty good VGC team, so it's actually kind of weird that I'm fighting it in singles, but whatever, we're just going to start this off. Alright, here we go. So, we're going to be leading off Latios. Remember, Latios is usually going to be my lead in most situations, and we're going to lead off against Rotom Wash. Now, what you want to do most of the time against Rotom Wash is, well, you're going to Mega Evolve, obviously, and pop Substitute. The reason you pop Substitute is think about Rotom Wash's moveset. They got Hydro Pump, they got Volt Switch, they have, Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp. All those moves either can't break your sub or bounce off it. So if he's going to Volt Switch, it's not going to break my sub. He's going to go into Skarmory, who he probably thinks I'm going to Draco or something like that next turn. I'm opting to go for Hidden Power Fire. Remember, that is a staple move on my Latios' set. And then we see Skarmory actually go for a Whirlwind back. I was expecting Rocks, but he opted to go for the Whirlwind. Great job there from him. We're then going to see him bring my Talonflame out, which is really nice for me, and we're going to force his Skarmory out, and he goes into his Landorus. Now, his Landorus has the ability Intimidate, and it's going to intimidate my Talonflame, but that Banded Flare Blitz is still doing a little bit over 60%. Now, I know these guys are normally Scarfed, so I have to switch out my Talonflame there. I can't risk having my Talonflame get Stone Edged, which we see happen right here. The fact that he stayed in and Stone Edge confirms for me that he's Scarfed, because we also don't see lefties going on him. So I go to my Suicune. I feel I'm pretty safe here. We're going to have to force him out again. This is just a match of switches. We're forcing each other out over and over. And, I go for the Scald because I figured whatever he would go into would potentially get burned. And against a Rotom that has Volt Switch instead of Thunderbolt, I didn't really feel the need to Calm Mind immediately. I can Calm Mind after eating a couple Volt Switches. So he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp here. I don't know if that's the correct move. Maybe he thought I would switch. I'm just going to start Calm Minding. Now remember, Suicune, my favorite Pokemon, is a super Omega tank, and this thing, after 2 Calm Minds, it can pretty much live through anything, even, stabbed Volt Switches from Rotom. So look, those Volt Switches are only doing about 25%, and it's at this point, and he has to switch, so he can't just keep on using them. Like I said, if he doesn't have Thunderbolt, I'm not really afraid. He goes into his Pinsir, and I get my second Calm Mind off. I probably should have Scalded there, but oh well. 2 Calm Minds isn't the end of the world. We see that I'm still burned, and it looks like I'm going to have one turn to pretty much fight this Pinsir. He's going to Mega Evolve, gain the ability Aerialate, which turns all of his normal type attacks, which Frustration is one of, into Flying type moves and gives him a 30% chance boost. So he frustrates me. I only take about 40%, and I fire back a huge Scald. Sadly, I don't get the burn, which means he can take me out with any of his moves, and he's going to opt to go with a quick attack, which is also boosted by Aerialate. It's probably Pinsir's best move, and it's what makes him a decent pick in OU. So I'm going to come out with Talonflame here. Remember, he still has all 6 of his Pokemon. He got First Blood on me, but what we're going to start to do here now is wear down this Rotom Wash. Now, I'm going to have to be doing a lot of switching and a lot of playing, defensively for the next few turns, but I'm going to Brave Bird the Rotom Wash, switch out to, I U-turn the Rotom Wash, and go to my Latios, and this is exactly how the game started. I'm just down a Pokemon. But the way I see it, if I can get Rotom Wash to about 40%, and if he tries to switch into my Talonflame, I can 2-shot him with 2 Brave Birds. So that's pretty much the whole game I'm playing for here. I opted to go for just a Psyshock onto him that turn instead of going for sub, because like I said, I want to wear the Rotom Wash to about 40%, which I almost did that turn. So you saw he Volt Switch out into his Mamoswine. That's going to force me out. I do not want to eat an Ice Attack. I'm going to go into my Keldeo, another one of my favorite Pokemon for singles, one of the best Pokemon, I think. The ability to stab special fighting and water attacks while having a great speed and special attack stat, while having a fighting type attack that also hits defense, kind of like Psyshock. I think it's just a great Pokemon. we see that sadly this game he's not going to do much. He's going to clock the sash on the Mamoswine and go down to an EQ, but this is right where I wanted to be. Send my Talonflame out. Looking at the rest of his team, there's not that much he can do. He's going to have to fodder his Mamoswine to my Talonflame, and remember, Rotom's pretty weak. If you would have swapped it in there, I could have killed it. I'm expecting Rotom to come out here now, but you know, we just put the little chink in his armor. Now that we've broken one of his sweepers, it's a lot easier to set up the next kill. So I withdraw, go into my Thunderous here, and he obviously was for the Volt Switch to kill my Talonflame. My Volt Absorb's gonna make that not work, and it's gonna give me another chance to, you know, potentially go for a sweep here. I expected him just to hard switch into Landorus, so I went for a nasty plot, and he, what does he do? He pain splitted me back. Sorry about that, guys. And at this point, I'm at +2. I'm just going to Thunderbolt this Rotom, and now that Rotom's dead, Talonflame can really do its job. Remember, Landorus is at 39%. Pinsir will die, Skarmory can die, and Gothitelle is going to take a huge chunk. I decided to stay in with my Thunderous and fodder it here. He could have actually missed the Stone Edge or tried to go for a U-turn shenanigan. So I just tried to keep him honest and stayed in there because it didn't really matter. I didn't want the Intimidate on my Talonflame. And, you know, we're forcing him out to switch right here. But remember, his Skarmory is low. So he's only going to be able to eat 2 Brave Birds. In worst case scenario, he has a Rocky Helmet. Which he does, of course. Of course he has a Rocky Helmet. Worst case scenario for me is Rocky Helmet. And it's still not going to keep him alive, but he will do a good chunk of recoil damage to me. So Skarmory is going to go down, and remember, even if Landorus comes back out here, he is going to go down to a Brave Bird. We're going to see him make the correct choice and come out with Gothitelle, who potentially has Shadow Tag, and I'm going to Brave Bird. It's almost going to get the kill. Now, judging by how much damage this did to the Gothitelle, we can assume that it's not a wall, and that is a choice item of some type on the Gothitelle. The only question is it a Scarf, or is it a Specs? I'm hoping it's not a Scarf. I'm hoping it's a Specs. I'm going to send out my Latios and go for a sub. Because even if it is a Specs, there's no way he can break my sub. He goes for a Thunderbolt. Obviously, it's not stabbed. No way that's breaking my sub. And I can just fire off a Hidden Power to take out the Gothitelle. The reason why I fired off Hidden Power there, I don't know. I felt it would do decent against Pinsir, and I just felt like firing it off. Anyways, we're going to see Landorus come out, and he's going to eat an Ice Beam. Now, the reason why I fired off Hidden Power was I didn't want to reveal Ice Beam. That was the reason why. Alright, so Landorus is going to go down for breaking my sub, and it's right here. I'll pause it. It's right here. My opponent's like, GG, man. Like, nice game. You tried hard. You know, he's thinking he's going to one-shot me with this quick attack from his Pinsir. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's GG. Like, I know it's GG. He quick attacks me. Obviously, that's not going to kill. I'm a Mega Latios. I'm super bulky. Fire off an Ice Beam in his face. Totally win the game. Like, in chat, he's like, no, I can't believe it. That thing's too bulky. But, yeah, totally won the battle. And this was one of my earlier games from the, OU Suspect ladder that I've been trying to ladder on. And, yeah, I had a lot of fun this game. It was a 25-turn game, so just a decent game. I had a lot of fun. You know, my plan was to break the Rotom Wash and try to set my team up to sweep with Talonflame. That's how a lot of my games go if I see a Rotom Wash. So that's exactly what happened. I broke the Rotom, sent out Talonflame, got a couple kills with that, and won with Latios, which was exactly what my team was set up to do. So thank you guys for watching this game. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.